For over a century, the United States has held the coveted title of the world's largest economy. With a nominal GDP of over $28 trillion, the U.S. ranks as the world's largest economy, accounting for nearly a quarter of global economic output. But as emerging economies like China rise through the ranks, the U.S. position is being challenged. With its massive population, rapid industrialization, and strategic investments in technology and infrastructure, China is rapidly closing the economic gap with the U.S. However, the U.S. still maintains a significant lead in terms of per capita income, nominal GDP, and technological innovations. In this video, we'll explore whether China is surpassing the U.S. as the world's largest economy. The United States economy has dominated the world for over a century, with its GDP share surging from a mere 5 to 10% in the 1800s to a staggering 50 to 60% in the post-World War II era. Moreover, the U.S. dollar's status as the global reserve currency allows the U.S. to exert significant influence over international trade and finance. The country's economic influence was further solidified by its dominant role in international finance, with institutions like the IMF and the World Bank playing key roles in shaping the global economic order. Besides its significant share of global GDP and having one of the highest GDP per capita in the world, several other factors contributed to the U.S.'s economic dominance. These include its innovative and entrepreneurial culture, a highly developed financial system, diverse markets, and a strong political system. All these factors together made the U.S. economy very powerful and dominant globally. However, in recent decades, the U.S. economy has faced challenges from rising global competitors, particularly China, which has eroded its share of global GDP to around 25% today. China's rise to the second-largest economy was a remarkable journey. It began in the late 1970s when China embarked on a path of market-oriented reforms, opening up its economy to the world and marking a significant shift away from socialism. In the 1990s, China's economic growth was accelerated by massive foreign investment, rapid industrialization, and urbanization. The country's accession to the World Trade Organization in 2001 further fueled its growth and solidified its position as a global manufacturing powerhouse. China experienced a remarkable period of rapid growth, with its GDP increasing at an average annual rate of 10% from 1980 to 2010, making it one of the fastest expansions in economic history. During this period, China's economy grew from a mere $190 billion in 1980 to over $6 trillion in 2010. This unprecedented growth has lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty and propelled China to the world's second-largest economy. By 2010, China had surpassed Japan as the world's second-largest economy, and today it continues to close the gap with the U.S. China has also expanded its influence globally through initiatives like Made in China 2025, which aim to enhance its manufacturing capabilities. The Belt and Road Initiative, which is a massive infrastructure development project spanning Asia, Africa, and Europe. The country has been investing heavily in infrastructure projects worldwide, further solidifying its position as a major player on the global stage. All such initiatives aim to establish China as a global leader in high-tech industries, trade and global influence. China has already surpassed the United States in terms of purchasing power parity in 2014. Purchasing power parity is a measure that adjusts for differences in the cost of living between countries. Currently, China's gross domestic product, based on purchasing power parity, stands at an impressive $35.29 trillion, which is larger than the U.S. GDP of $28.78 trillion. This indicates that China's economy has a greater overall purchasing power and standard of living when adjusted for differences in price levels between the two countries. China tops the list when it comes to manufacturing. The country makes up 31.6% of the total global manufacturing output, which adds more than $4 trillion to the world economy. On the other hand, the United States previously held the top spot in global manufacturing until China surpassed it in 2010. The country contributes around 15.8% to global manufacturing production, and its output is valued at around $1.8 trillion to the world economy. Additionally, China's economy is growing at a significantly faster rate than the U.S., with a GDP growth rate of 4.6% compared to the U.S.'s 2.7%. In the past, China has consistently outpaced the U.S. in terms of GDP growth, with an average annual growth rate of over 10% from 1980 to 2010, compared to around 2% for the U.S. While both countries have seen a slowdown in recent years, China's growth rate remains significantly higher than that of the U.S. Using the Rule of 70, which estimates the number of years for a country's GDP to double at a given growth rate, China's GDP is expected to surpass that of the US within the next 10 to 15 years, assuming China maintains an average annual growth rate of 5 to 6%. To counter China's economic rise, President Donald Trump started a US-China trade war in 2018. The trade war was largely seen as an attempt by the US to slow down China's rapid economic progress and curb its growing global influence. By imposing tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods, the US aimed to reduce its trade deficit, protect American industries, and prevent China's ascendancy as a technological and economic superpower. However, the trade war has had mixed results, with China's economy showing resilience and adaptability in the face of US tariffs. While the trade tensions have certainly posed challenges for China, they have also accelerated its efforts to diversify its economy, invest in high-tech industries, and strengthen its domestic market. Despite China's rapid growth, the US maintains several advantages that have enabled it to remain the largest economy. The United States boasts a nominal GDP of approximately $28 trillion, representing a significant 26.3% share of the global economy, while China's nominal GDP stands at $18 trillion, accounting for around 16.9% of the world's economic output. This notable difference in GDP reflects the US's long-standing position as the world's largest economy, although China's rapid growth is steadily narrowing the gap. Similarly, the United States has one of the highest GDP per capita globally, standing at $85,370, whereas China's GDP per capita is significantly lower at $25,020 as compared to the US. This substantial difference highlights the considerable gap in standard of living and economic prosperity between the two nations. In terms of cumulative foreign direct investment stock, the United States and China hold the top two spots. The United States maintains a significant lead, with a total FDI stock value of $10.5 trillion, representing 23.7% of global FDI. On the other hand, China follows with $3.8 trillion in FDI stock, accounting for 8.6% of the world's FDI. This substantial difference represents the US as a prime destination for international investment. Moreover, the US's highly developed and innovative financial system, a strong culture of entrepreneurship, urbanization, intellectual property protection, high stock market valuation, and a diverse and resilient economy enabled it to remain the largest economy. Additionally, the US dollar's status as the global reserve currency gives the US a unique advantage in terms of monetary policy and global influence. These factors combined have enabled the US to maintain its position as the world's largest economy, despite China's rapid growth and rising global influence.